When it comes to BL dramas, one of the most exciting things is watching how the story deepens after the pilot episode. Episode 1 usually sets the stage, introduces the characters, and gives us hints about their feelings. But episode 2 is where emotions start to get complicated, where characters reveal sides of themselves that we didn't expect, and where relationships begin to feel real. That is exactly what happens in episode 2 of Love in the Moonlight. This episode gives us more insight into Prince Saenkaew and Sassin's bond, showing us both the romantic tension and the obstacles that lie between them. In this review, I will break down the episode like a YouTuber would, keeping it simple but detailed, and focusing on the romance that fans are most curious about. From the very first scene, we can sense the pressure surrounding Prince Saenkaew. He is caught between family duty, political expectations, and his own heart. His role as a royal heir means every decision he makes carries weight, and unfortunately, even his love life is not exempt from this. His family wants him to secure power and wealth through marriage, but what they don't know, or choose not to acknowledge, is that his heart already belongs elsewhere. And this, elsewhere, is none other than Sassin. Episode 2 highlights this conflict more clearly, placing Saenkaew at the center of a storm where love and obligation are constantly clashing. Sassin, on the other hand, remains the emotional anchor of this episode. He is not a prince, not surrounded by golden politics, but his presence has a kind of stability that Saenkaew desperately needs. In episode 1, their interactions already hinted at attraction, but here, we see deeper emotions. Sassin doesn't directly challenge Saenkaew's position, but he challenges his silence. He is the one who dares to ask, "What do you really want?" And that is powerful, because it pushes Saenkaew to confront feelings he has been avoiding. One of the most beautiful parts of episode 2 is how the show uses contrasts. On one side, we have the grandeur of royal duty, arranged marriages, and political alliances. On the other, we have simple yet meaningful moments between Saenkaew and Sassin, like a look held too long, or a conversation where truth slips out through hesitation. These quiet scenes carry more weight than all the grand ceremonies. And that is what makes this episode stand out. There's a particularly moving moment where Saenkaew is asked bluntly about love. While others want a straight, yes, or no, answer, he hesitates. It's not that he doesn't feel love, it's that he feels it too strongly for someone society would never accept. And while the court pushes him to declare loyalty to an arranged bride, his heart betrays him in the presence of Sassin. This is where the acting shines, because you can see Saenkaew's inner struggle without him saying a single word. His eyes alone reveal the war between duty and desire. Sassin, meanwhile, gives us a sharp contrast. His feelings are clearer, more direct. When he loves, he says it. When he feels pain, he doesn't hide it. His honesty almost feels like a weapon against Saenkaew's carefully constructed mask. And yet, he never uses it cruelly. Instead, his openness becomes a kind of silent plea. If I can be honest, why can't you? Watching this dynamic unfold is heartbreaking but also deeply romantic. It sets up the central question of the series: can a prince ever choose love over duty? Episode 2 also expands on the danger surrounding them. The subplot involving inheritance, political enemies, and hidden schemes creates constant tension. At first, it might feel like these details distract from the romance, but actually, they make it stronger. Because every smile, every accidental touch between Saenkaew and Sassin happens under a cloud of risk. They can't afford to be careless, which makes their small moments of closeness even more precious. BL fans know this trope well, the forbidden romance that blooms in secret, but Love in the Moonlight executes it with emotional depth instead of cliches. One of the standout sequences in this episode is when Saenkaew and Sassin share a private moment after the chaos of family discussions. Saenkaew tries to mask his emotions, pretending everything is under control, but Sassin sees through him. He tells Saenkaew that being a prince doesn't mean sacrificing happiness forever, and that sometimes, just being true to yourself is the bravest thing you can do. It's simple dialogue, but it lands with such impact because of the weight of their circumstances. For a brief second, Saenkaew allows himself to be vulnerable, and when he does, the chemistry between the two characters truly lights up the screen. The episode also uses symbolism in subtle ways. For example, Saenkaew's family talks endlessly about wealth, inheritance, and transferring properties to secure safety. But when Saenkaew and Sassin are together, the focus shifts to things that money can't buy: music, laughter, and genuine companionship. It's almost as if the series is reminding us that while kingdoms rise and fall, true love remains timeless. This contrast adds richness to their romance and makes viewers root even harder for them. Of course, it wouldn't be a BL drama without jealousy and rivalry simmering in the background. Episode 2 introduces whispers of others watching Saenkaew, noticing his hesitations, and suspecting that his heart lies elsewhere. These background plots are crucial because they raise the stakes. Viewers know that if their secret ever comes out, the consequences could be devastating, not just emotionally, but politically. And yet, it's this very risk that makes every moment between Saenkaew and Sassin feel so electrifying. The production values of this episode are also worth mentioning. The cinematography leans heavily on candlelit rooms and moonlit gardens, perfectly capturing the theme of secrecy and forbidden love. Whenever Saenkaew and Sassin share the screen, the camera lingers just a little longer, letting their chemistry breathe. The soundtrack supports this beautifully, switching between tense political drums during family confrontations and soft, aching melodies during the private exchanges. The result is an episode that feels both grand and intimate at the same time. What really makes episode 2 memorable is its emotional payoff. By the end, we don't just see two characters who are attracted to each other, we see two souls bound by longing, courage, and fear of loss. Saenkaew's inability to openly admit his feelings might frustrate some viewers, but it also makes sense for his character. He is a prince shaped by duty, but Sassin represents the possibility of freedom. And as the episode closes, we are left with the sense that this love story will be a long, painful, but beautiful journey. In summary, episode 2 of Love in the Moonlight delivers exactly what fans of BL dramas crave: emotional depth, slow burn romance, and stakes that make every stolen glance feel monumental. Prince Saenkaew's struggle between duty and desire is portrayed with heartbreaking realism, while Sassin's unwavering honesty gives the story its heart. Their romance feels both fragile and powerful, like a flame that could be blown out at any second but still burns brightly against all odds. If episode 1 drew us in with curiosity, episode 2 locks us in with emotional investment. We are no longer just watching two characters, we are rooting for them, worrying for them, and hoping that somehow, against all the odds, they find a way to love freely.